Hello everyone, hope you're doing all right. Welcome back to this video on the A to Z guide. Today we are going to talk about reclaimed order blocks. The name in itself already says a lot, but we are going to dive a little bit deeper into it. Now as well, this will touch on the very basics of a market maker model, and an advanced market maker model video will come later in the A to Z guide. As well, a little announcement, my mentorship enrollments for the masterclass is opening up again this Saturday, so that's the 20th of May, and they will close again at the end of next Monday, so that is the 22nd of May. So in that time period, I open up the enrollments, so if you are interested and you're a little bit more advanced in ICT, so you've watched one series minimum and you feel overwhelmed with all the information, then this might be for you. Link is in the description if you do want more information on it. So do check that out if you are interested. All right, without further ado, let's dive straight into it. So here in the top right, you can see the first step is understanding that there's two curves. So there's two curves of the market, right? We have a sell curve right here. And then once we reach a certain discount array, we have a buy curve right here, and we're going higher and higher. This is the basis of a market maker model. So take notes if you don't know fully what a market maker model is. And again, we'll touch on everything in this A to Z guide. So this is two curves. We have a sell curve and a buy curve. Now this is a market maker buy model, and then the opposite would be a buy curve and then another sell curve. This is a market maker sell model. Now, why is this important? Well, these market maker models happen everywhere. The context behind them is very important. Again, there will be a more advanced market maker model video, so don't worry. But we need to understand that if we are looking for higher prices, so we are expecting a market maker buy model, then right here, when we are moving down, institutions, their orders are so huge that those institutions, they can't just simply buy and sell like we can, like retail can. Now they have to get in the market earlier. So if we have a market maker buy model and we are anticipating a market maker buy model to form, then on the sell side of the curve, that is already where institutions are buying. So what you'll see is you will see order blocks start to form, bullish order blocks. Remember, a bullish order block, it's a down candle and the high of the down candle gets broken. They get formed on the sell side of the market maker buy model. So right here, order blocks are forming because institutions are already buying. They are hedging. They are already in the market. They are offering counterparty liquidity to all the sellers right there. And then once we reach a discount array, so that's very important for you to acknowledge. That's very important for you to write down as well. Once we reach a higher time frame discount array or some sort of discount array, then you will likely see some sort of displacement with maybe a market structure shift. And then we might see a shift in order flow. And then all the order blocks, the bullish order blocks that formed on the sell side of the curve, of the market maker buy model curve, will hold as support. And then we push higher. That's the basics of a market maker model. So remember, we have a sell side curve and a buy side curve. Sell curve, buy curve. That's it. And inside the sell curve, there will already be order blocks. And once we trade above them on the right side, then they are called reclaimed order blocks. So what does that look like on the market maker sell model? Exact same thing, just inversed right here. We have the buy curve, these already. So right here, inside here, there could be a bearish order block that gets traded through first, and then holds us resistance right here because now it's a reclaimed order block once we are on the right side. So we have the left side, the buy side of the curve on the market maker sell model, and then we have the right side, the sell side of the curve on the market maker sell model. And these right here will be your reclaimed order blocks. All right, now we have discussed the two curves. So the two curves, then we have order block. Order block, what is an order block again? Order block, a bullish order block, again, a down candle where the high gets broken. Remember that step that we talked about in the first video? You only need to know that step, that the high gets broken on a bullish order block. On a bearish order block, the low gets broken, right? So that is a bearish order block. Again, we've also talked about the steps, full in-depth steps on the order blocks, but that's not really important. We just need to know a bullish order block, the high gets broken on a down candle, and a bearish order block, the low gets broken of an up candle. And that's it. That's what we need to know. So then the third step is left. So you always look to the left to spot your reclaimed order blocks, because we have two curves, and on the left side, so that first curve, whatever that is, that's where the reclaimed order blocks will be. All right, now let's dive into some real chart examples. So right here we have the 4-hour order block. Remember an order block? This is a 4-hour order block. And then if we drop into the lower time frame and we drop into the 15-minute right here, we have a buy side of the curve and a sell side of the curve. The very basics of a market maker sell model. So two curves, buy side, sell side. Right here, if we take a look at some order blocks, some bearish order blocks that were formed on the buy side of the curve. So for example, we have one right here. Take the body of the order block right here. And then if we zoom in a little bit, we have another one right here. Then we have another big one right here. Then we have another one right here. Can you see how many reclaimed order blocks there are in this little section right here? See what price it did right here. It had a very difficult time getting above this level again. Once we move down below every reclaimed order block right here, it was very tough for price to get above these reclaimed order blocks right here again. So here you see consolidation and we touch again higher, but we never come back above those reclaimed order blocks. And if we take a little bit of a look lower right here, what do we have? A bearish order block. And here, right here, we have another one. Now you might notice I'm not taking the consecutive up candles here. I'm only taking the last up candle right here. So that's a little difference in the order block as well. That's just for me because we're taking things from the left right here. It's a little bit more precision, but that way your chart doesn't get clustered as well. Of course, as you can see already, I don't like how there's so many lines already here. So what is a solution to that? Well, you might notice the reclaimed order blocks that work well are the ones that are overlapping with something else. I always emphasize on this fact. PD arrays are great. They are absolutely awesome, but, and especially reclaimed order blocks, I only like to use them when they are overlapping with another PD array. So instead of having 1,000 lines on your chart right here, what I would have is, I would have this right here. Why? Let me explain. We have this reclaimed order blocks. And again, reclaimed order blocks are not that exciting, right? They are very easy to spot, etc. When is it actually becoming a reclaimed order block? When we are trading below it. So when we are trading below it, whether it's a wick or a body, once we are trading below it, then it becomes a reclaimed order block. So right here, we are already trading below it. We can see we have a move higher. What is happening here? We don't have any clear overlapping PD array. We don't even have a fair value gap that's overlapping there. And pay attention to what happens next. Right here, what do we have here? We have an order block. We have a fair value gap here. We have a mitigation block. There is 4 things overlapping here. Count with me. 1, reclaimed order block, mitigation block, order block, fair value gap. 4 things overlapping. That's what makes PD arrays so strong. So always look, where is a logical place we can return to that isn't all the way up here. So all the way up here isn't really relevant, but that's close to current price action that we can return to where the most overlapping PD arrays are. All right, so if we take a look at this other one right here, we have an up candle. We are trading below that up candle, so we're breaking low. This could be a bearish order block, right? We disrespect it fully. We are finishing the buy side of the curve, sell side of the curve. We are trading back below this old bearish order block. This now becomes a reclaimed order block. Then right here, what is overlapping with this reclaimed order block? Well, there's a mitigation block, again, in close proximity to it. There's an order block sitting right here. And you have a fair value gap here and here. So a sting into this fair value gap wouldn't have been crazy, right? We could have seen it coming because we have a lot of things overlapping for us. And that overlapping part, that's what I want you to understand for this reclaimed order block. Because otherwise, like we just had in the beginning, your charts will be clustered with reclaimed order block here, reclaimed order block here, reclaimed order block here, right here. And we have 1,000 lines, and that's not accuracy, right? We can tell you, all right, price will bounce off of one of these 1,000 lines. Yeah, well, no shit, right? And that's the same part as if we draw random lines right here. Complete random lines, right? Look at this. Resistance right here. It's resisting it. All right, now it's acting a little bit as support. All right, resistance again. And if we go even further to the left, look at this. Perfect support, perfect resistance right here. Perfect resistance, perfect, right? Just random lines. Resistance becoming support. It's consolidating around that line because it's support and resistance. Look to the tick, to the absolute tick, right? Perfect accuracy. If you have 1,000 PD arrays on your chart, then you are not accurate. No, you are just guessing. And that's why I don't like to explain 1,000 PD arrays, because it's not accuracy anymore. It's just random. And what a lot of people like to do on Twitter and Instagram, etc., or even on YouTube, they say, look at the accuracy. Well, no shit, you have 1,000 PD arrays on your chart. It will respect one of them. What is the accuracy there? There is no accuracy. So understanding those overlapping PD arrays, that's so important. Because the PD arrays in itself are not that hard to spot, right? But knowing where it will likely bounce off of, where it will reject, that is pretty hard to spot. The way we can spot that is by focusing on the most overlapping PD arrays. And again, we will dive into this deeper and deeper. Don't worry, this is just the basics. All right, now let me give you a bullish example as well. All right, we didn't have to go very far. This right here is our sell side of the curve, right? This is our buy side of the curve. So we have, again, two curves. Then on the sell side of the curve, where are the order blocks? So the sell side of the curve, focus on the bullish order blocks because we are anticipating higher prices. All right, well, if we take a look right here and dive a little bit deeper into price action, we have this would be considered a bullish price action, right? Again, the body of the down candle right here, the high gets broken, the very basics of an order block, and even an order block right here, and even an order block right here, and even right here. Again, we have 1,000 lines on our chart, and we can make the same argument again. Whoa, look at the accuracy. Well, there's not really accuracy because we have 1,000 lines. Obviously, it will bounce off of one. How can we make this more accurate? Well, this reclaimed order block, and we could even say this is a reclaimed order block as well, right? Because the high of this down candle gets broken with an up candle right here. We drop down below. We are still on the sell side curve, and then we initiate the buy side curve. What happens? Right here, we have an overlapping fair value gap. We even have some sort of breaker overlapping. So that's 3 discount arrays, reclaimed order block, breaker, fair value gap. Where does it go higher off of? This fair value gap, overlapping with the other 2 discount arrays. And that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you here. And that's exactly what makes PD arrays so strong, when they are overlapping with another PD array. And again, this reclaimed order block as well, right? What do we have overlapping? Well, we have this big order block right here coming off of this fair value gap, pushing higher, new displacement, fair value gap, this small order block. There's a lot of stuff overlapping, and that's what makes it interesting. So what I want you to do, I want you to study this reclaimed order block, but I want you to study how many blocks, so all the blocks we went over, how many can you find that are overlapping? So find the similarities of reclaimed order blocks that are holding and find out why are they holding. Are they overlapping with a lot of other PD arrays? Because very often that's the case. So study those two curves, those order blocks on the left side. Once they get traded above or below, they become reclaimed. Are they overlapping with something? And that's where the highest probability reclaimed order blocks are, and other PD arrays. All right, last reminder, masterclass enrollments of my mentorship are currently open. There have been great results of the masterclass so far. So if you have watched one ICT series at least, and you have pretty good knowledge on ICT so far, then that might be for you. Again, very limited spots and very limited time, only that weekend from the 20th of May until the 22nd of May for you to sign up, and then enrollments will close again. All right, I'll see you at the next video on Friday. Thank you.